long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Darn it!
Out of the way. I'm not one of the biggest Yoshi fans in the world, but I don't know. And with the Yoshi series, there are also some exclusive games. Yeah. And today I'm going to review the 3 main games in the series: Yoshi's Island, DS, and New Island, in that order. Well, I will review these 2 games in the future, but this is going to be a sort of marathon, which means that I will be reviewing these games in separate videos, as well as this one. So look forward to that. Without further ado, let's get things started with the original in the series, Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island was developed and published by Nintendo in 1995. Who would have thought? For the Super NES. Let's start this game with a story. For mysterious reasons, a Magic Koopa under the name of Kamek kidnaps 2 children. One of them is Baby Mario, and the other one, whom he successfully kidnaps, is Baby Luigi. Yoshi stumbles upon him, and the adventure begins to find the other Mario bro. Yeah, it's not that complicated. But then again, this is a Mario game. What do you expect? The Legend of Zelda? Chrono Trigger? No, in platformers, it's not the story that matters most of the time. Most of the time. But rather, it is the actual gameplay itself. And if you were thinking that this was just a traditional run and jump platformer game, then you wouldn't exactly be right. But rather, it is an exploration-based video game. The goal of every level is still to get to the finish, don't get me wrong. But, however, along with getting to the goal, another, goal, I guess you could say, is to collect a certain amount of collectibles in every level. Such collectibles are smiley flowers, red coins, and star points. They're not on screen right now, but they're health systems. Star points, red coins, and smiley flowers all lead to a total score, the maximum being 100. Getting enough points gets you bonus levels, and really that's it. Yeah. A lot of people give this game high praise for being really open world and collectible, while still being linear at the exact same time, but really, there isn't much incentive to explore, except, getting the highest score possible, and, as I mentioned, the extra levels. However, while there isn't much incentive to collect everything, it's still a lot of fun regardless, and I actually get some sort of dumb satisfaction. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a completionist. So while the gameplay mechanics aren't really all that great, it's not the mechanics of the game that makes the game so fun. Rather, it is what you play. Firstly, the level design is great. It's challenging, and it actually encourages you to explore. Again, there isn't much of a reward, but it's still pretty neat nonetheless. Also, at the end of every world and in the middle of every world, you will fight a boss in their castles. Regardless of whether or not they're original is besides the point. These are easily some of the best bosses in Mario history. What's also neat is that you're not just fighting a boss. Kamek shows up and powers up an enemy, which is neat, admittedly. However, with an excellent sense of exploration, if you try to explore, the game is going to be pretty long. It took me 1.5 years to beat it. And considering that I beat most of the games that I collect in less time, such as Mega Man 2 in one night, that is a lot of exploration. If you're the guy who likes that, that's great, but honestly, it eventually becomes time consuming more than it does fun. But that's hardly a complaint. It only happens by the end of the game. What's also neat is that every level tries at least one new thing, such as this level, where there are platforms that die out after they're stepped on the number that is shown on them of times. Yeah. It really helps the platformer when each and every level is distinct. Such as this level. Actually, now that I think about it, I take that part back. Okay, I also need to mention one other thing. The game looks and sounds phenomenal. If you haven't already noticed, Shigeru Miyamoto, the game's producer, took an attempt at a more pastel and arts and crafts-esque style. Also, fun fact, it was originally supposed to be 3D, like Donkey Kong, but that idea was scrapped. Probably for the better, too. This game still looks beautiful, whereas with Donkey Kong Country, some kids may be turned off because, you know. Along the way, you will also play mini games of sorts. Now, in these mini games, you can play games of chance in order to get more lives. This one in particular, on the other hand, could also get you some points. Yeah, let's keep that one in the books. Time to wrap the game up. In reality, there isn't much to say about the final level, but it takes inspiration from Super Mario World's Bowser Castle. In that sense, you go through multiple doors of your choice, by the way, into different rooms, of which there are 4. You complete those rooms, and then you end off in a room with Kamek. Basically, what Kamek is doing is he's trying to kill you in a last-ditch effort before you get to the throne room. Man, the guy is desperate. When, or if, you do get to the throne room, you wake up Baby Bowser. And he clearly didn't sleep well last night. At all. Jeez, what a brat. The first phase is not hard at all. In fact, I didn't die at all, which compared to the rest of the game, that is rather shameful. But what's this? Kamek comes to Bowser's rescue! He uses magic on him. Wait a minute. I thought he was dead. Yeah, go back to your grave! Oh man, there is debris everywhere. Oh man. This is gonna be awesome. Come on, come on! Stop it with the cliffhangers. That's not a happy baby. Unlike the first match, which is not memorable at all, and I would even say completely pathetic, this is a climax. Basically, you're avoiding Bowser Jr.'s balls of fire, falling debris, and looking out for giant eggs to find the perfect opportunity to throw those eggs at his face. Yeah, right in the pork. Just to make sure he doesn't get too close to you. After a few hits, he's dead. But what makes this final boss so much more memorable is that this was the first time that Bowser grew in size to defeat his enemies. At least that's what made it so memorable for me. I don't know. You rush over to where Luigi and the stork are kept, and you save them both. And now the babies can be delivered to their parents. And that ends Yoshi's Island for the Super NES. Overall, Yoshi's Island is a great game. While I wouldn't consider it to be the best platformer, unlike what the majority of people may say, I will agree that Yoshi's Island is definitely worth your time, and it comes recommended either on the SNES or the Game Boy Advance. Besides, they're pretty much identical, so it doesn't even matter. Besides, I found my box copy for less than $25. After this, Nintendo would, drought Yoshi of any sequels for 11 years. And yeah, there were other Yoshi games, but for another Yoshi's Island game, we had to wait 11 years. And that's where we go next time. Join me then, and we'll review Yoshi's Island DS. In the meantime, I have to complete it. That game is way too hard. So that is it today, folks. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you liked it that much. And yeah, I'll see you next week. I really don't have that much more to say.